still uncomfortably far away from me, but that's all right. We'll get going here.
Construction has not started yet.
Yeah, well, just be careful. Right? Okay, so good morning. Thanks everybody for coming to a day that is long awaited. We are re-envisioning, reimagining the waterfront here in the downtown, but we're getting beyond that stage. We're actually turning dirt, knocking buildings down, and it's a great day to celebrate forward progress from what has been an awful lot of staff work over an awful lot of years. I could take us back 1 year, almost to the day, when we stood over at the Connecticut Port Authority supported public dock improvements that provided ADA accessibility. We stood over there a year ago, and you could say, well, that's kind of the kickoff to all this, right? But the truth of the matter is, it goes back much further, and I'm not going to. Many of you are familiar that usually at this point with a microphone, I start talking about the 1600s in Uncas, but I'm not going to go back that far today. But let's go back a few decades to when Ron Aliano really set the stage for what this could be. And he made it that. He turned this from an industrial site into a publicly accessible recreation site. And then there was an intervening dark period where nothing really happened. But there was always a harbor commission that had a harbor management plan that had a vision for what this place could and should be. And there's always been a city council that has acknowledged the importance of this geographic center of our downtown that sits on the water and always had a vision for what this could be. But I had an old boss that used to tell me, and you've all probably heard it yourselves in different places and times, a vision without resources is just a dream. Well, along comes this phenomenal public-private partnership and a stack of capital that's actually taking those visions and those dreams and turning them into reality. And that started really here in the very near term with the Dwyers making the leap of faith that they wanted to invest in Norwich and this site. And we're thankful for Patrick and Brittany Dwyer for coming along. Thank you guys for being here with us today. But they can't do it on their own, and there is absolutely a public side of this that can make this thing a reality. Ladies and gentlemen, the Trading Fire Department. Thanks for that. Just sideshow. In case you didn't know, we're about to knock this building down, and we'll talk about that here. Meanwhile, they're training in it, so we're getting kind of some final multi-use out of that structure. So the Dwyers invested here, and the city said, look, we're going to come alongside you. We're going to make this venture a public-private moment of investment. And thanks in great part to the federal government's investment in municipalities throughout the country, we've been able to come alongside the Dwyers and do things like improve the restaurant, improve the grounds, return the festival tent that is up over here on the pad, where we've already had successful events occur here at the Marina. So this is an evolving situation, but it was their initial investment that got us here. And then there was and continues to be the recognition by the Connecticut Port Authority that small harbor improvement program grants can also play a role in this improvement. And we had that nearly $800,000 grant to create that public dock improvement and create better ADA accessibility over on the other side of the channel. We're not done yet, and we told Deputy Commissioner Matt Puglisi from DECD, the Department of Economic and Community Development, who's with us here today, we told him on that cold April day about a year ago, well, Kathy told him on that day, that we are very persistent. And I think she said persistent about 5 times, and then Tucker took to the microphone, Tucker Braddock, the chairman of the Harbor Commission, and said persistent about 10 more times. And we were trying to let the message be known that we're not done. We've got a lot of work we want to do here. And as a result, we earned a $2 million grant for waterfront improvements. Yeah, thank you. We're here doing it. That $2 million is going in the ground. That's why we're here today. So we celebrated the receipt of that award. Lieutenant Governor Bysewicz standing over there at Scoops on the docks, the Mi Encanto restaurant right across the channel right there. Again, this evolution, this progression, and that was a combination of the investment by the Dwyers, the investments by the city. But that day, Lieutenant Governor Bysewicz stood over there and pointed over here and said, that $2 million is going to help you put fuel tanks in the ground. And that is what we're here to do today. But we told Lieutenant Governor Bysewicz we're persistent and we're going to keep coming back for more. And we did. And about a month later, Governor Lamont paid a visit down here. And we stood, I don't know, somewhere over that way. We pointed across at the ADA accessible public docks. We pointed at Scoops, the ice cream shop that was now open and had customers in front of it. We pointed at the tent that was up that had held a couple of salsa nights and a few other events. We pointed at the restaurant that we hoped to turn into a year-round, four-season restaurant. And he was very impressed by all of that. But his immediate response when we got done laying all that out for him was, "That's great. What are you going to do about that thing?" That's what he said, word for word. And we said, well, we're persistent. And we went after a grant, and we got it. We got another $4.5 million to invest in this downtown waterfront. This is your cue to clap. So look, we are very thankful for every one of those forms of capital that's come to this moment to get us here. And today we're going to celebrate all of these various components of improvement that we're going to have down here. But I have to certainly give thanks and a moment here to describe the importance of this investment in change and revitalization to the folks that are standing behind me. And I'd like to lead off with our biggest champion at the Capitol building, Senator Kathy Austin.
So thank you very much for coming today. I've looked at downtown Norwich over and over again. I grew up here. And what I want downtown Norwich to be is to be that place just like it was when I was in high school at Norwich Free Academy and could walk downtown and spend time downtown with friends and be safe and just see the value of having a thriving downtown area. I remember shopping downtown with my mom, and I'm the oldest of 7, and we would line up behind my mother because we liked to harass her, all 7 of us in a line by age so that she would not forget any one of us. This is an important moment. And when the Dwyers are here running a family business, which my parents participated in their own family business, these are things that make a community. And that's what we're doing here, making a community brick by brick by brick. We're so blessed to have so many people that recognize the value of this downtown. And we are so blessed to have people in the Capitol, in the governor's office that say Norwich is worth investing in. And we fight for every dime that we can get to make this area a site for what we want it to envision. And that is a community with family businesses where people think it's great to live, work, and play. This is so important for us. I can't thank the Dwyers enough for bringing their family business here. It's really important. We got Mel with his family business that is helping clean up site after site. I can't call out all the family businesses that are out here today, but it's so important for us to recognize what makes a community. And it's not about anything more than getting people engaged and involved and participating. I'm very excited. Am I introducing the next person, Kevin? Who would you like me to introduce? Oh, okay. So again, it takes a village to make a community, and we have great partners in the City of Norwich administration. We have Mayor Nystrom, Councilor Swanjay Singh, and Councilor Sheila Hayes, and I think it's the mayor's turn to speak.
You've heard about the grants, and without the resources, it's very hard to move, but it does take the people. You've heard about Patrick and Brittany Dwyer. Y'all should hear about Ray and Becca Alperts, their belief in staying in Norwich, investing not in one site as they started out, but now 2 sites, and that commitment is very meaningful to myself. I stood on these grounds in 1988 with Ron Aliano when the ribbon was cut. And there were about 22 to 2,300 people on this site. Everything was brand spanking new. It was very, very impressive. And it provided the foundation for what we're doing here today. Without that investment then, without Ron's commitment and his vision, we wouldn't be here, because he insisted on doing things well, doing things right. So I'm very, very grateful for he and his family. Many of you here know his son, Mike Aliano, who lives in a houseboat right on the corner over here. I know how much and how important he has meant to so many people, for people willing to invest here in the city of Norwich, particularly on this site. For them, it's really a family legacy started by his father. And today we're continuing that. And I'm very, very grateful to see that happen. And a related story, this has nothing to do with what we're doing today, but he's traveling to England. And on his tour towards the end of this month, he's going to be going in to see the Lord Mayor of Norwich, England. And he actually reached out to my office, so we're preparing some gifts for that elected official over there, and continuing something that has happened in the past. It did in 46 when they came here. They were here in 1921 when, again, other people came here. So that tradition lives on, just like this tradition can now live on again and be reborn. And that's what we're celebrating today. So we'll throw a little dirt. I'd love to release a wrecking ball behind me over there, but I guess that's not in the cards, although I'll drive that. But very, very grateful. And I want to mention someone who's standing way in back, because that's where he always hides, and that's John Solomon. John Solomon, our city manager, who really was responsible. No one behind you, John. It rests and stops with you. You oversaw the whole program that we are dealing with, the American Rescue Dollars, and that's an integral component here as well. We married those funds and allowed us to do so much more, and that's a strength that we have, having a city manager who has the strength to oversee such a vast program. That was over $28 million, by the way, and it was money very well used. And I'll end by pointing out the Uncas Leap investment upriver, up the Heritage Walkway, someday will be physically joined to this site as well on the east side over there, so that people can enjoy the entire waterfront experience, including up to the falls. Thank you all for attending.
Okay, so last in the speaking before we turn the dirt, and I don't know, let the mayor drive the crane, I heard. I don't know. Is the Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Economic and Community Development, who's joined here today by his colleague, Ryan Acosta. Thank you, Ryan, for coming as well. We have been blessed with a very good relationship with our folks at the state regarding this Community Investment Fund 2030 program. The state is blessed that there is this $875 million investment in distressed communities like Norwich, and we're doing what we can to make the best of it, and we wouldn't be able to do it without the great support from Matt and his team. So Matt, please.
Thank you, Kevin. It's great to be here in Norwich. The community, on behalf of Governor Lamont and the Community Investment Fund co-chairs, Speaker Ritter and Senator Looney and Commissioner O'Keefe, this is a really exciting project. We are down here at the center of the city, on the waterfront, the heart of Norwich, and we're making this investment in economic development and in community development. All of these multiple awards that have come in through our Brownfield program at DECD, through the Small Harbor program from the state, through the Community Investment Fund. We're really layering all of these investments alongside the federal ARPA dollars, alongside municipal improvements in the city and our private investment. And that is really adding to the impact that we see here. A marina, the harbor, the waterfront, it's an opportunity for economic vitality, but it's also an opportunity to increase community access. Just the trail that is going to be built, connecting downtown up to the Uncas Leap, where we were a couple of months ago with the ribbon cutting up there at that park, which is a beautiful, amazing historical location. These are the things that bring communities back to life. These are the vibrancy that under Governor Lamont and our legislature's commitment to these types of capital improvements in Norwich and communities like Norwich that are really changing the lives for everybody that is living here. And so it's a pleasure to be part of this team. just to complement the administration and the leadership that Norwich has. Kevin is always on the phone. John and the mayor do a great job in terms of putting these applications together and in being persistent, as was said multiple times, going through the highly competitive community investment fund process. But really, Senator Austin and the entire Norwich delegation for providing the continued support for the community investment fund. Not only do we have this $875 million, but for municipalities, everybody knows how long it can take to bring complicated projects to life. And so the long-term commitment that the state has made to the Community Investment Fund is helping municipalities really be strategic, really bring the different resources and the complicated pieces of these projects together to really see the value in these projects across the state. So thank you very much to Senator Austin and to the delegation for their support of the Community Investment Fund. We look forward to being back here for the ribbon cutting, and pleasure to be here today. Thank you.
Okay, finally, as I said, as I led off, right, this execution that's happening today had to be founded on, obviously, Ron Aliano's investment, but also the persistence, to use the word of the day, of the Harbor Management Commission and their Harbor Management Plan, which sets the stage that allows for things like this to hit the ground and have a place. And so, to speak on behalf of the Harbor Commission and that Harbor Management Plan and vision, Chairman Tucker Brown.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here this afternoon, this morning, and to see all of you people who share in this dream of making this harbor and this river more successful. It's a pleasure to work with NCDC and the Commission, the Harbor Management Commission. It's nice when, I feel nice when two groups that can come together and work together to make this all work out well. With the cooperation of the state of Connecticut and the Port Authority combining efforts to provide the funding for this event. I see only good things that can come out of here. People say that this is kind of a gem in our city, and I really feel that it is a gem in our city. We have a restaurant now, we have people who have a keen interest in developing this, and with the support of all of you people, everyone here, and spreading the word that this is a good place to be, and it's a respite from your day's toil. Come down here and take a breather, and I'm very happy to see, after looking at this for 20-25 years, this finally something is happening to make it more positive for our city as well as for the region, where people can come and enjoy sitting beside the docks and enjoying a cocktail or a wonderful dinner. And I thank you all for coming, and again, it's a real pleasure to be a part of this and helping out whatever way we can help out. And just a brief note, Bob Phoenix is with us today, and he's chairing, in cooperation of what we're trying to accomplish, a striped bass tournament in September. Again, we're trying to reach out to the public and to the surrounding areas to make this, everybody's really worked pretty hard on this. It's now time to enjoy it and feel good about what we have here in Norwich. So with that, I will say thank you all for coming, and who's next?
We'll see you at the striper tournament. All right. All right, so let's talk very practically about what's going on. The summer before the Dwyers took over the Marina, and I may be off by half a dozen on these numbers, but stay with me here. There were probably 25 to 30 boats that were in slips. In their first summer, without fuel tanks, and without a four-season restaurant, in fact, with a zero restaurant, if I remember, there was no restaurant, that number more than doubled. We're on the verge of having fuel for boaters that want to come up this river to this location and dine in that restaurant that's open right now. It's nothing but up from here, folks. That's what this is about. It's staged, it's dirt, it's a crane, but there's some hard work that's about to happen, and it's going to create just that next level that's going to happen here at the Marina. So what I'd like to do to celebrate those two big events, or these two big things, is get everybody who's involved up here. Is Amy here from, or are any of our service station equipment or CMG engineers with us? Okay, come on up, grab a shovel. Go ahead over there, folks, grab a shovel, throw a helmet on. And everybody move at once. Go ahead over there and grab a shovel.
Service station.
Okay, all right, very good, thank you. And Mel, if I get any members of your team to come stand under this claw, because we're not going to stand under it, you're going to stand under it. And have our SLR teammates come up here, or are they still waiting on us back in the... Michael. Yeah, our SLR teammates. Yeah, come on up here. We're going to put you guys right here. All right, so look, just as the signs tell you, right? I've lost control. I've lost complete control. It's chaos back there. Okay. So as the signs tell you, as you look across here, right, we're going to put fuel tanks in. We're going to knock that ugly pink building down. And at the same time, we haven't talked about it yet, but SLR International has been attached to do the planning for this future that we're talking about. All the other things that you've heard discussed that we are contemplating. Recreational space over there on the north side of the ice cream shop. Better access, pedestrian access into this waterfront. SLR teammates are here with us today, thank you. And they'll be back in the pergola right after we get done here for you to interact with them, as well as the Harbor Commission and Jim Warren from our American Globe Center Shakespeare Theater team to talk about, you know, this very practical thing's about to happen. We still got big ideas. So please, after we have this celebratory moment, don't run away. Join us for some snacks and a discussion with our professionals across this whole team. So let's get the... Yes, please, there's wires. Yes, thank you. Yes, please come on up. Okay, everybody, come up here. Every single human that's on that side, come up here. All right, Becca and Ray, let's see, who else are we missing here?
Need Scott.
Yes, thank you. Scott Lassard, please. Where are you at? Scott, come on up here. And as Scott is making his way up here, look, we wouldn't be here if that guy right there didn't create these compelling narratives and grant applications that have been fielded by DECD. And so we appreciate your work in this thing as well. Thank you very much. All right, let's do the thing. Let's have the countdown, and we'll spill some dirt. All right, we're going to do this. Come on in here, guys. There you go. All right, so first, just look out at the cameras. Look out at the cameras just like you are, okay? All right? And then I'm going to give you a 3, 2, 1, and you can spill or throw or whatever you want to do. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, there we go. Okay, please, if you would, anybody who can and wants to stay with us, let's go down here and celebrate this restaurant expansion that's underway. And by the way, I meant to say this in my prepared remarks. They started serving lunch on Thursdays and Fridays just yesterday. And today's Friday. So you can have lunch today. And in case I didn't say it, they're serving lunch on Thursdays and Fridays. And today's Friday. But there are some free crackers and cheese and drinks if you want to come join us down there. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming.